In 2004, Yamaha created the recreational side-by-side segment with the release of the Rhino 660. 4 years later, Polaris leaped into the game with the first purely sport-focused Razor 800, followed yearly by one new model after the other. Next, Can-Am and Arctic Cat jumped in, looking to grab their share of the booming sport market. Meanwhile, Yamaha was left reeling from the challenges that often face a manufacturer responsible for creating an all-new product or segment. The 2016 model year marks Yamaha's 60th anniversary, and the company is celebrated in the best way possible, with lots of new and exciting product offerings across their entire power sports lineup. The biggest news by far came at the September 1st world launch of the brand new 2016 YXZ1000R, that Yamaha proclaims is the world's first true high-performance side-by-side. While we're pretty sure that ship has sailed, Yamaha has definitely changed the game and is clearly focused on racing to the front of a segment that they played a pivotal role in helping create. At last, we have been granted the opportunity to step into the driver's seat at the dunes of Glamis in Southern California to put the industry's most anticipated machine of 2016 to the test.
Hey, I'm Alan Knowles from CT Racing, here for UTV On Demand to test Yamaha's new YXZ1000R out here at the Glamis Sand Dunes. Going to put it through its paces today, see what we can get out of it, get you a full report. It's a revolutionary car. Everything about it is pretty much new compared to the UTVs that have been on the market. So we'll see what it's capable of, how well it all pans out, and if you need to run out and go buy one.
UTV On Demand's test of the 2016 Yamaha YXZ1000R was made possible by Maxima side-by-side engine oil, an ester-based full synthetic oil blended with a unique balance of surface-active anti-wear and extreme pressure additives to ensure smooth, trouble-free operation under extended periods of use. Lower operating temperatures increase horsepower and keep your engine running clean with Maxima's side-by-side synthetic oil, the only oil formulated specifically for your high-performance UTV. GBC Canadi Mongrel tires are designed to excel in all types of dry or hard pack conditions, and with DOT approval, they're ideal for street legal use. Their 8-ply radial construction and truck-inspired tread design provide smooth, stable, and durable performance, with wins in Baja, Works, and King of the Hammers to prove it. For more, visit gbcmotorsports.com. Texera Tech Chassis Components, makers of maximum strength, extreme ground clearance, radius rods, and A-arms for your UTV. Designed and built in Northern California. Available for the Polaris Razor XP 900 and 1000, and coming soon for the Yamaha YXZ1000R. The YXZ1000R is powered by a 998cc inline triple-cylinder engine, featuring 4 valves and double overhead cams per cylinder. An 80mm bore and 66.2mm stroke indicate a motor that's built to rev, redlining at 10,500 RPMs. Fuel injection delivers air and fuel to the combustion chambers via 3 42mm Mikuni throttle bodies. The engine is said to produce 112 horsepower, making it the most powerful naturally aspirated UTV engine on the market. The engine draws its air from the cleanest possible place, between the driver and passenger seats. The intake features 2 inline filters for maximum air filtration. First, there's a foam filter followed by a wet paper filter, helping to maximize the intervals between which the paper filter needs to be replaced. The engine is mated to a 5-speed manual shift transmission with reverse. The hydraulically activated clutch is controlled by an automotive-style foot pedal. The drive system features 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and 4-wheel drive with front differential lock. The YXZ1000R sounds like a road race motorcycle, and its engine delivers the same type of performance. Low-end power is smooth and mellow. Its well-tuned fuel injection and weighted flywheel make it difficult to stall. The car accelerates at lower RPMs, but not with a lot of authority. Power continues to build with smooth, mellow delivery until you reach the upper mid-range. At 7,000 RPMs, the engine really comes to life, pulling hard all the way to redline at 10.5. Making time in the steep, power-robbing sand hills requires you to work the gearbox to keep the engine up in the RPMs. Upshifting around 10 grand seemed to keep us in the sweetest part of the power when grabbing the next gear. The clutch pedal's action was light, as was the action of the precise shifting. From what we experienced on the hard-packed dirt track at the World launch in September, less drag being placed on the engine allows it to more easily work its way to the meat of the power, requiring less precise shifting than in deep sand. In slow, rocky technical situations, we could see ourselves working the clutch a lot and wishing for a bit more torque. By the time you see this test, Alan Knowles and CT Racing will already be looking for ways to get more torque out of the engine. The YXZ1000R has a high-performance engine, and it really prefers to be driven that way. Four-wheel drive engagement was smooth. We repeatedly engaged and disengaged it on the move with a light lift of the gas pedal. In the dunes, we never saw the need for differential lock, but we loved the idea of having it there for tough trail sections. The YXZ-R is built on a brand new tubular steel chassis, protected by a full-frame underbelly skid plate. The frame mates up to dual A-arms at both ends. The rear A-arms are designed to morph the function of trailing arms, with the strength and rigidity provided by dual A-arms. Sway bars are equipped at both ends to help control unwanted body roll. 26-inch front and 32-inch rear Fox Podium 2.5 RC2 shocks control 16.2 inches of travel up front and 17 inches of travel out back. Their progressively wound dual-rate springs feature threaded preload adjustment, in addition to high and low speed compression and rebound damping adjustments. The rear shocks feature Fox anti-bottoming technology, designed to prevent a harsh metal-to-metal sensation when they reach the limits of their travel. Speed-sensitive electric power steering comes standard on all YXZ-Rs and is mounted high on the rack and pinion steering, helping protect it from dirt and debris. Traction is provided by a special version of Maxxis 27-inch Bighorn 2.0 tires, developed specifically for the YXZ1000R to maximize ground clearance, traction, handling, and durability. The tires come mounted on aluminum wheels on the base model YXZ-R, with the special edition model we tested enjoying the extra durability and run-flat security of bead locks. Handling performance seemed to live up to the hype. Steering effort was light in the deep, heavy sand thanks to the electronic power steering system. It remained light with a limited slip front-wheel drive engaged, but became a bit stiffer with the front differential locked. Steering accuracy seemed good, but was a little harder to fully evaluate in the sand. Stability is quite good, both in corners and on side hills, and perhaps the best of any of the base model 1000cc cars on the market. High-speed stability was also notably good. If suspension performance is important to you, you won't be disappointed. Out of the box, the factory suspension settings were pretty good. However, the front felt a bit heavy, and the rear end deflected a bit on high-speed whoops. Fox on-site suspension technicians stiffened up the front shock's low-speed compression about 15%. They added a few clicks to the rear shock's low-speed compression damping and slowed down the rear shock's rebound a couple clicks. The result was a car that tracked even straighter through the whoops and carried the nose a little higher off jumps. Overall, the suspension seemed to be well-rounded, doing a good job of eating small chatter while feeling bottomless. There's an abundant amount of external adjustment provided by the Fox Podium shocks, so dialing in the exact ride you're looking for shouldn't be a problem. There's no need to switch over to paddle tires for dune cruising, as the purpose-built Maxxis Bighorn 2.0s delivered surprisingly good traction in the sand. So much so that Alan wanted to add a couple of pounds of pressure to the rear tires to loosen the car up a bit. Forward braking and directional control were well balanced, and the tires seemed to perform equally well on hard dirt a month earlier. The YXZ-R is slowed by hydraulic disc brakes featuring 245mm rotors and dual piston calipers at all four corners. The brakes offer a good feel at the pedal, and while sand makes judging their full power difficult, they proved to be able to rapidly scrub off speed in our previous encounter on dirt. Welcomed features like well-built full doors and a sunroof are standard equipment. The YXZ's cab features high back seats with extra lateral support and outside shoulder bolsters. Both the driver's seat and passenger handhold are adjustable, in addition to the steering wheel, which features 5.8 inches of tilt adjustment. The combination digital and analog instrument display was inspired by Yamaha's high-performance Super Sport motorcycles. It has all the usual info, plus a programmable shift light. At 6'4", Alan found the roof sightline to be a little bit low for looking up the sides of steep dunes, while the steep angle of the hood allows you to see what's going on right in front of the car. Alan was able to configure the cockpit to comfortably fit his 6'4" frame. While he noted that the seats didn't quite live up to the comfort level of his favorite aftermarket seats, there were no major issues with any points of discomfort at the end of the day. The car rates high at all points of contact, including the steering wheel, foot pedals, and shift lever. With an absence of any Japanese manufacturers in the high-performance segment, a higher level of fit and finish is perhaps what people have wanted more than anything else, and there are no wood screws to be found on the YXZ1000R. The YXZ-R uses high-quality fasteners. Its transmission and multi-plate wet clutch appear overbuilt and should hold up well to abuse. Nearly every visual aspect of the car looks well thought out and refined. Yamaha's new 2016 YXZ1000R is certainly a high-performance machine, with all of the power, suspension, and good handling qualities to match. Its manual shift transmission adds a cool aspect of performance and control that's been missing from the entire side-by-side industry until now. Its shrieking 3-cylinder engine seems to rev faster and higher than any of its competitors. A bit more low-end torque would make relaxed driving a little easier, but if staying in touch with the engine, banging through the gears, and letting it rip are what you're looking for in a side-by-side, then the YXZ1000R is the only machine for you. For more information on the 2016 Yamaha YXZ1000R and their full line of side-by-sides and ATVs, log on to YamahaMotorsports.com.